I love cartoons that show like the business side of things. Like I love that they're like, Mike Wazowski, turn in your paperwork. Mikaela, today we got a very exciting topic indeed. The best Pixar movies ever. Now there is already a list over at Ranker.com where thousands of people have already voted on what they think the best Pixar movies are. So throughout this episode, we're gonna be comparing their list, the general public's list, with our lists. Mikaela, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is Ranker's number 6. I'm gonna go ahead and say Cars. I love the Cars universe. I just think it's so creative. I love Owen Wilson, you know.
He needs to voice more cartoons.
Yeah, just ka-chow.
Ka-chow!
Ka-chow! I'm a big fan of Tow Mater too.
Larry the Cable Guy?
Larry the Cable Guy. But yeah, I just love Cars. I think it's so great. First time I actually watched it, I walked out of the theater because we were bored. And I know, craziest thing ever.
How old were you? Because that's
Exactly, I was like at an awkward age where I was like 10 or 11, or it was kind of like, we're over it. But now I'm like, this is just one of the best Pixar movies. I love how many like adult jokes they slide in there too. Like they have the girls who flash. We're like your biggest fans. It's like the showing them their boobies, but the car boobies. What's your number 5?
So my number 5 was Ranker's number 15, Finding Nemo. I love Finding Nemo. You want to talk about a movie where it's like, of all the Pixar movies, has the best B plots.
Yeah.
Where it's obviously not just like a whole universe, it's literally the entire ocean.
Yeah.
The sharks who are now vegetarian and the fish all friends.
Not food.
And the turtles being like, let's be honest, they were high on,
they were high.
Cannabis.
Roger!
I loved the fish in the dentist's office and the bad girl. Darla and the seagulls. I love how it's like, oh yeah, all of the fish are like basically people. Birds, dumb as shit.
Yeah.
They're just like, nah.
Mine.
What's your number 4?
My number 4 is actually Ranker's number 10, Up. The beginning is the tearjerker.
Yeah.
I actually don't like to watch the beginning because I'm like, I don't need this.
Yeah.
I don't need to be upset by this.
I think it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. I've watched it several times, but I don't need to see it anymore. I'm good. But then the rest of the movie is just hilarious. You got the Boy Scout, the dog, the bird, and an old man. It's a great movie. It's a feel-good movie.
I mean, when they put the thing on the dog,
he's hilarious.
And he starts talking like this.
Put him in the cone of shame.
It's good stuff. Okay, so my number 4 was Ranker's number 2, Toy Story 2. It's like the original Toy Story, except they like take all the best parts of Toy Story, all the witty banter and stuff and all the good lessons, and they just ramp it up even more. That movie also has one of the most like satisfying scenes.
The cleaning.
The guy cleaning.
Yes. The close-up on the eyeball. It's weird.
I remember as a kid being like, I could see myself doing that as a profession. That seems very satisfying. That does have, I bet you didn't really watch it, the saddest montage in any movie though. Jessie feeling like she was discarded. What's the song that they sing? It's the sweetest song ever, and she's just, it's like, when I was with you. I have goosebumps right now. That scene is so amazing.
As much as I love the movies, I hate that they made me feel so bad about like donating my toys. To this day, I feel awful.
What's your number 3?
So my number 3 is Ranker's number 8. Monsters, Inc.
That's my number 3 as well.
Monsters, Inc. is also a very cool universe. I love this idea that these monsters are clocking in to scare kids. It's one of the more sinister Disney plots, but it's very good.
You're right, it is very sinister. I love cartoons that show like the business side of things. Like I love that they're like, Mike Wazowski, turn in your paperwork.
Don't let it happen again. Yes, well, I'll try to be less careless.
And then, you know, Boo is just the sweetest thing ever.
You looked like Dora the Explorer, and you looked like Boo when you were a kid.
With my haircut,
That's a movie where they perfectly casted the voices. Billy Crystal is so good as Mike Wazowski.
So good.
And Steve Buscemi is the bad guy.
I know. I just love Monsters, Inc. I just think it's one of the greater universes in the Pixar world.
Okay, so what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Ranker's number 3. Which is Toy Story 3. And I hate to cry. You know I hate to cry.
You hate anything sad.
Anything that makes me cry, I hate it.
She's done with it.
I'm done. But this one, it was just like, I hit the perfect age when that came out. Where I was like, yeah, going to college is rough. You're giving away your stuff and it's just sad. You've gone along with them on this journey and now it's time to go. Like they wrapped up Toy Story 3 in this perfect bow. All the toys went to, you know, a new little girl and they're happy.
Yeah, you know what my problem with Toy Story 3 is? And I loved Toy Story 3. I think Lotso is probably also one of the more sinister.
Oh, yeah.
Lotso hugging bear.
Where's your kid now, Sheriff.
That trash scene was so scary.
But so that scene, one of the knocks on Toy Story 3 is everybody told me like, oh, the scene at the end, you get so scared and you just cry because they all like hold hands or whatever.
Yeah.
There was not 1 second that I thought that they were actually gonna be incinerated.
If that's how the Disney movie ended, that would have been insane.
They would never kill them in a trash fire. You know who's really funny in that too? Is all the Lotso's henchmen guys. Like Ken is so funny in that.
Ken and Barbie are the funniest.
Love your leg warmers.
Nice ass cut.
Ken's like, look at these outfits. Really good.
What's your number 2?
So my number 2 was Ranker's number 14, which I'm actually shocked it's only 14. Inside Out. There's an argument that this is one of the best movies like ever. It's like really deep. There's just like certain points where it's like, it's okay to be sad. I mean, I cried in that movie.
Oh, I did too.
So in Inside Out, Joy is who's the captain of that ship. Anger is the captain of the dad. Which one of your emotions is the captain in your brain?
I am disgust. The whole time she's just like,
I'm fear, 100%. Everything I do is fear.
Fear.
Every single thing I do is fear of being like, maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah. I love The Imaginary Friend.
Bing bong.
Is it Bing Bong?
Yeah.
Bing Bong.
Diversion. What? So long, sucker.
What's your number 1?
My number 1 is Ranker's number 12. The Incredibles.
That's my number 1.
Okay.
I love The Incredibles.
The Incredibles is the greatest movie of all time. I love the idea of like, it's a superhero family and it's kind of illegal to be a superhero.
Just seeing that as a kid, how much did you think like, okay, so if I was in this family, my power would be this?
Yeah, no, I always loved Violet because I was like, she's like brunette like me and like awkward.
Yeah.
Like we got thick Mrs. Incredible. You know what? She's elastic too. I think I'd like that power the most. Do you think she could like change her body type? Do you think she chooses that?
That's a fan theory I never heard of, which is like, it's not that she chooses that, it's that she knows what Bob Parr, Mr. Incredible,
Yeah.
he's an man. Bob Parr is an man and everyone knows it. So
You know who's
good.
the greatest too? Is Frozone's wife. The city is in danger.
My evening's in danger!
You tell me what my suit is, woman.
Woman! It's so good. And it has maybe the funniest character in all of Pixar, Edna Mode.
Yes.
No capes.
Oh, the cape and the boots. No capes.
And they have the great like ending villain, the babysitter guy.
Wait, the babysitter guy?
Wasn't that what he called himself?
No. He's Henry. What's the bad guy in The Incredibles? Syndrome. That's my brother, by the way. But Syndrome is so good.
Yeah.
And a really good villain in the sense of like he was cast aside by the real superheroes. His backstory makes
It made sense. Yeah.
The Incredibles 2 was also good. It just wasn't quite as good.
No.
It's so hard to top the original.
So hard.
Anyway, guys, those were our favorite Pixar movies. Did we miss any of your favorites? Let us know in the comments, or better yet, head over to ranker.com and vote your favorites to the top. I hope you guys have a great day. Those were our favorite Pixar movies. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.